Hello programmers, in this video I will explain about runtime polymorphism. What is polymorphism? A single action performs in a different ways. Then we can say as a polymorphism. One more definition. If we represent one form in multiple forms, then we can say as a polymorphism. Polymorphism, that means many forms. Poly means many, morphism means forms, many forms. Real world example we will take as a human behavior and water. Okay, so when we apply polymorphism in programming language, what we can able to achieve means we can able to achieve flexibility and readability. Okay, polymorphism will be divided into two types. Why they divided means depending on how the method is called in a class. So based upon that they divide into two types. One is compile time polymorphism and one more is the runtime polymorphism. So in the last video I already explained about compile time polymorphism. If anyone not watched it means go and check it out. So in this video we will be discuss about runtime polymorphism. So we can call with different names also. Means runtime polymorphism has a different names. Runtime polymorphism or dynamic method dispatch or dynamic binding or late binding. So those have a different names. So in interview they may ask like this: in Java runtime polymorphism, how we can able to achieve like this? They will ask. The answer is we can able to achieve by performing the method overriding. The answer is in Java runtime polymorphism can be achieved through method overriding. See, method overriding. By performing the method overriding, we can able to achieve runtime polymorphism or dynamic method dispatch or dynamic binding or late binding. Okay, up to now it is clear, right? So then I will tell what is method overriding. Method overriding means declaring a method in subclass which is already present in parent class is known as a method overriding. So in the definition we seen some terminology, right? Means we hear some terminology, that means subclass and parent class. That means what? Here we need to understand the one more concept also, that is inheritance. That means parent child relationship or is a relationship. So I will be explain that with help of one definition. One class acquires the properties of another class, then we can say that is a one inheritance. Okay, so that means child class can acquire the properties of the parent class, then we can say the inheritance is a relationship or parent relationship. So while implementing polymorphism we need to follow some rules for achieving the polymorphism. So I will take one example. With that one example I will conclude all those points and all. So we need to remember point is we need to know inheritance concept, we need to know, and we need to take two or more classes. Then in between that class we need to apply inheritance concept, then we need to override those methods. Up to now it is clear, right? So still you have any doubt means let me know in comment section. So I will take one class. See here I will take D class. My class name is here D. So I will take one more class. I already told, right, we need to match the relationship, parent child relationship. So here I taken one class C. So class C contains their own properties. Properties means methods and variables, right? So I will take one method now. Public void m1 I. So m1 it contains their own business logic. See, like this I will be written simply. Okay, m1 is a one method. It contains their own business logic. I hope you already know, right, what about this method, and for that confirmation I will show you one diagram. See, this is the access modifier, return type, int is the return type, and max is the method name, parameter list, and body of the method. And here max of int of x comma int of y is there, right? We can say as that is a method signature. I hope you already know this thing. So because we are discussing about methods, so we need to remember those terminology. Okay, now here m1 is the method name, and here we don't have any parameters, right? This is the body, this is the method in C class. So here also we have a one more class. That class also contains their own properties. I will create one more method, call me, right? I will be right inside my own business logic. So call me of D. Up to now it is clear, right? So I already told. So for achieving runtime polymorphism we need to apply inheritance concept. That means is a relationship. How we can able to apply for those two classes? See, C is the one different class and D is the one different class. For those two classes we need to apply is a relationship. Means we need to use one keyword. That keyword is for classes extents we need to use, like class D x and class C. Then we can able to say this is a relationship. Now tell me, when we compare with the D class, what about C class? C class will become as a parent class, then C class become as a child class. Am I right? So child class, then we can able to conclude as a this is a relationship or parent child relationship. Then what is that meaning? So now D class can able to acquire parent class properties also. Up to now it is clear, right? Then we need to remember the definition of the runtime polymorphism. That means method overriding. What is the definition? Declaring a method in subclass which is already present in parent class. That is only right method overriding. So what that meaning means, so parent class contain one method, that method you need to declare in child class. Like now I am trying to that one. Observe carefully. M1 of method name must be same, and parameter also same, 0 parameter 0 meter. So here I will be write my own logic, means child class logic. So I will be write simply child class m1 method, m1 method I will be write like this. So then I can able to say as a m1 is a one properly overridden method. M1 is a one properly overridden method. Up to now it is clear, right? Still you have any doubt means let me know in comment section. Now we properly overridden the definition. What is the definition? When we declaring a method in subclass which is already present in parent class. See, parent class contains one method, that same method we are declaring child class, then we implemented our own business logic, then we can able to say as a m1 we properly overrided. Up to now it is clear, right? So then I have a object because those are the non-static methods I need to call, right? For that I will create one object. So d dot call me, so same like d dot m1. So I will save. So then I will execute the program. See, whenever I'm executing, so I will explain these things and all. So I created object for the child class, that means d class object I created, right? So now small d is the reference of the d class. So it will be check d dot call me, it will be go and check in child class whether that method is available or not. When it will be check at the time of runtime only, it will be check. Okay, so runtime it will be check whether its d class contains call me method or not. Same like that d dot m1, now I'm trying to calling this one d dot m1. So on the time what happened means it will be go and check whether child class containing that method or not. It is containing, so at the time it will be print child class m1 method message. So observe carefully, now we printed, see, call me method and child class m1 method. So here we properly overridden, so the definition is proper, right? So declaring a method in subclass which is already present in parent class, then we can say as a, that is a method overriding, right? See, this is a one method already present in parent class, this is a one method same method present in child class. See, method names, observe method name same, parameters also same, then we can able to say as this is a properly overridden method. So what is the main usage while implementing like this? See here what happened means, for suppose I not override this thing, now I not override this thing. So now I will execute, what will happen, observe carefully. Now it will be call first this call me method, it call, then d dot m1, what it will be called, it is calling the parent class. How it is happening? At the runtime it will be checking whether child class containing any m1 method or not, child class not containing any m1 method. So at the time what happen means it will be go and check in parent class, it will be go and check in parent class. So parent class containing m1, so that's why we printed this message m1 of c. Okay, up to now it is clear, right? But in what happen means future, in future d class has some new requirement came. So apart from printing m1 of c, d class they have their own requirement. Apart from printing m1 of c, they need to print some other messages. At the time what happened, it d class will go and ask to c class, can you able to change your m1 method implementation? At the time what it will be till parent class won't change any business logic in that method. So at the time what we need to do is we need to override that method in our child class, then we need to implement our own business logic. See, here we can able to write our own business logic. See, own business logic we can implement. See, so on that scenario we can go for the method overriding. Up to now it is clear, right? Still you have any doubt means let me know in comment section. So I will be show you. See, why we will be use runtime polymorphism. Overriding is done so that a child class can give one implementation. I already told, right? In child class we can able to give one implementation to a method which is already provided by the parent class without touching the parent class code. So for suppose if I change in parent class means it will be affected to the some other child classes. So for that purpose I am not touching the parent class source code. Okay, means parent class code I not touch. Okay, without touching parent class, how we can able to how we can able to perform, means how we can able to implement our own business logic by doing method overriding. We can able to create one same method in child class, then we can able to implement our own methodology. So this point is I hope you clear, right? So here we need to remember few terminology. The terminologies in this case, method in the parent class is called as a overridden method, and method in the child class is called as a overriding method. See, here we can call this method as a overridden method, then Here child class method we can call as a overriding method. We can call overriding method. Overriding method we can call like this, right? Overriding method, right? I have spelling right only, right? Overriding method. Okay. See, like this we need to call. See, now in parent class we have one method, right? See, parent class one method is there. That method we properly overrided in child class, right? Properly overrided in child class. At the time, this method, what we can say is a, this method we can say as a overridden method, and in child class method is there, right? That method we can say as a overriding method. Up to now it is clear, right? If you clear means, then I will take one more example. Then I will explain why we not touching the parent class method, means parent class code, why we not changing the, I will be explain. Okay, up to now it is clear, right? Then I will be take one more example for your confirmation purpose. Here I will be create one more class, say animal. Say animal. So animal contains their own properties, am I right? So here I will be create few methods. Observe public void it, same like I will print some generic messages here. Eat, same like sleep. So same because all animals will perform eat and sleep. So for that I created here methods. Okay. So I am trying to creating one more method also sound, but I won't give specific sound, means specific animal sound like dog sound, cat sound, or I won't give. So at the time what I will give, simply I will give as a no sound or default sound, right? So like that I will be create my method. So up to now it is clear. This is the one class. So I created that class, right? In that class they have a their own properties. See, commonly animals perform, right? Eat they will perform, and sleep they will perform. Same like sound also they will perform. So those methods are not I created. Common methods and all I created here. Up to now it is clear. Then I will create one more class. I will create a dog class. If dog class contains type already exists. I hope somewhere it is dog also is there. So I will take that down. I have dog already is there. So now we take dog class. So I need to match, right, relationship. Dog is a animal, cat is a animal. How we can able to match relationship? By using extends keyword, right? So then what is the main usage of that extends keyword? So means that is a relationship. So now we can able to acquire the parent class properties also we can able to acquire. Sorry, animal. So now dog class can able to acquire animal class properties also, right? Up to now it is clear, right? So then what I will do is I will simply create the object for the dog. So it's observe carefully. Dog is equal to new dog. Okay, up to now it is clear, right? So I will be call those methods because parent child relationship. I can able to acquire those properties. Dog dot eat, same like dog dot sleep. Now observe very bit carefully. Dog dot sound I am calling. So now I am expecting as a here eat, here sleep. Here I am expecting as a dog sound, that like as a like this I am expecting dog sound. Just check what will happen. Run as Java application. Now what came here? Now sound or default sound. Then immediately what I will do is I will go and ask to the animal class. So animal class they have a one method, sound method. So I dog class asking to the animal class, can you able to change this default message to the some other message like dog related message? Then what animal class will be tell? No, I can't able to implement those means those implementation in my method. So I will be give only generic message only. If you want means you can able to override in your child class. That means in your class you can able to override, then you can able to implement your own logic. So the conclusion is very clear. So animal class, now animal class become a one parent class, right? Animal class become a one parent class when we compare with the dog class. So at the time animal class contains a few methods. So in that one method is a dog method. In the dog method we given only no sound, nothing. So now we are dark class, when dark class is asking to the animal class, can you able to change this sound class implementation? At the time what is the answer means, so parent class won't able to change those method implementations. So the alternative way is we need to properly override in our child class, then we can able to implement our own kind of business logic. Observe very carefully. Now what I will do is public void method name must be same, right? Sound. Then what I will do is here I will be write my own logic. Observe very carefully here. Now something like dog sound is spot, like that I will be right. So now what I did is here properly overrided. See here already if parent class contains one method, that method I properly overridden. Why I overridden means because I need to implement my own business logic for that scenario. What I will do is I properly override it. Now observe what I will do is I just run and I will show you the expected result. See, dog sound is bark. So now you got right. So why we are using this runtime polymorphism to implementing the our own business logic. So same like that in future what happen means there is a one animal cat is a animal, right? Cat is animal. Same like it also extends animal class. Animal, it also extends animal class. Then it will be create object cat. Cat is equal to new cat, right? It will be create the object with help of object. It will be called those methods. Cat dot eat. So now if we cat want a sound, like cat want a sound like cat related sound. Now cat class expecting. So at the time what it will be give, actually it will be give as a default sound only it will be give. So at the time what cat need to do, so parent class won't change that method. So at the time cat class what they need to do, they need to create their own business logic while doing method overriding. Means that means they need to override that method, then they need to implement their own logic. So how you can able to override? So same method name, right? Apart from like that you have one more option, Eclipse. So alt shift SV, then it will be show animal class methods also. Which method we need to override? So we need to select. My intention is I need to override this method. Why? Because I need to implement my own business logic in this sound method. So I implemented. See, like this it will become. So here I will be write my own business logic. SYSO. So here I hope you got it right. See how we got means this one. Alt Shift yes please V. If you are using Eclipse IDE means you can use this shortcut. Okay, you will be get like this. Okay, now I am save and I will be run the application. See, now I got the expected result. The conclusion is correct. We need to override the method from parent class to child class. Then we need to provide our own business logic in our child class methods. Then we can say as we properly overrided. So up to now it is clear, right? Still you have any doubt means let me know in comment section. Okay. So up to now these points and all clear, right? So these rules and all I will be explaining separate video. So no need to worry. No need to worry. So here I will conclude one point also. What is this great auto-wide annotation? Auto-wide annotation is available on 1.5 version onwards. This is used to confirm the whether we properly overrided or not. For example, say if we manually written code means we did some mistakes. For example, say now now I am trying to the override those method. But what I did here, I given as a method name different. See, capital S starting with capital S. But if you check here animal class method, here is a small sound. Like now what as a user what I'm thinking, I properly overrided like that I'm thinking. But as a user we don't know, right? So at the time if you use at the rate override annotation means it will be tell whether you properly overridden or not. It will be properly tell. See, check the option. What is the compilation errors you got? Create a capital S sound in animal or remove at the rate override annotation. If you remove at the rate override annotation means what happened? See, now I am removing at the rate annotation. At the time if I run and execute means you won't get expected results. See, no sound or default sound because this is the one method. This method available in cat class. We not properly overrided that method. I hope you got it right. So for confirmation checking purpose we will be use at the rate override annotations. Okay, anyhow in upcoming videos I will be explaining in detail. Okay, no need to worry about. Just at that override annotation will be available on 1.5 version onwards. So it will be used to for confirmation purpose whether we properly overridden or not. Means in child class we properly overridden or not, we will be check with help of this at the rate override annotation. Because when we manually implement means we will do some misspelling we will be do. So at the time we will be use at that override annotation. If you want to means like this, for example your parent class contains 100 number of methods means you want to override only particular methods means at the time you use this shortcut for getting those methods like alt shift SV. Then it will be shows parent class with along with those methods. Which method you need to override, you need to select here. That's it. Okay, right? So up to now you have any doubt means let me know in comment section. So in this class we discussed about what is method overriding, how we can able to achieve in programmatically, and what about at override annotation and why we use it mainly. So mainly the main usage is child class can give its own implementation to a method, right? Child class can give its own kind of implementation. So no, see, which is already provided by the parent class without touching the parent class code. We won't touch parent class code. in child class, if you want any one kind of implementation means at the time you can go for the runtime polymorphism. Okay, in the next video I will be discuss about these rules and all. Okay, no need to worry about that things. Still you have any doubt means let me know in comment section.